I didn't want to believe that one of us was a traitor, but I had lied to everyone about losing my memory. We used the dynamite to clear that field next to the gate. The rock must have fallen and accidentally set it off.
We thought what happened at Tanktown was an accident at first, too. I'm not gonna make that mistake again.
Welcome to NocBro Nation.
Welcome back, guys. Jarrell here.
And I'm Josh, and today we have an interesting Fear the Walking Dead video, the explosion in the last episode. Who caused it?
Yeah, so that was kind of one thing that, in a way, was left open to interpretation. Now, we're led to believe it was possibly Daniel.
It was Daniel.
But you know, in the episode, Daniel was gathering all the group together to talk about Virginia and talk about the people with the spray cans and about Tanktown. And the identity of the person, they really didn't give us that. It was kind of, we led to believe it was Daniel, but they were spitting things around like, you know, similarities with Tanktown, how Luciano was like, they attacked us from the inside. We didn't know who they were. You know, Daniel tried to say, oh, a rock fell on some dynamite. It's like, I didn't really believe that story.
It could have.
But this event kind of happened before I think his mind really started to go to where he really started making mistakes.
Yeah,
you know what
I mean? I don't know. You know, it could have been merely an accident, right? And maybe he's right. Maybe a rock did fall on the dynamite and it exploded. But, you know, is he being set up?
That's another thing.
Who would set him up?
Well, you know, one person that we could say maybe could have a handle on this would be Rolly. He doesn't, you know, he was already a villain. Yes, he's with Sherry and crew. He doesn't really have any ties to the group, and Sherry doesn't really either, just except for Dwight. But I don't know. He seems like he's on a different path now. You know, he seems like he's become kind of the good guy, but still wanting to take Virginia's people out. I don't know that he would have set something off because he wasn't in the tent with everybody. He was one of the only ones that weren't there.
Yeah.
Plus, we have to think of all the other people who are in that community. Kind of like what Sherry said, or Luciana's like, we don't know these other people.
Yeah.
You know, we don't know what's going on. Rolly.
Could it have been Dakota?
I don't know. No, I don't think it was Dakota. I think Dakota right now she's kind of looking over her shoulder and everyone's looking at her. Dude. Like, I don't think it was Dakota.
I don't know. She could be pissed that she lost her sister because of this community.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think that, you know, because she's willing to help, and I think she
I'm not
understands.
putting it past her.
Yeah, for sure. Another suspect that kind of been going around is possibly Wes. Now, though he's helping our characters or whatever, maybe they could make him a twist in this. Maybe they could have him, you know, because we're going to see him in the next episode, I think, going to the end as a beginning group. Maybe he has been following this group for a while. Maybe he understands what they're trying to do, and maybe he could be our little snake in the sand. I don't know what you want to call it, but they could twist it up if they wanted to.
I mean, it fits. He was the one writing messages on trees.
He was, and
so I mean,
Virginia thought he was the one behind Tanktown for some odd reason.
It fit well because he had paint.
Oh yeah, that's true. He had paint. Yeah.
Talk about you know, profiling.
Yeah, that's why Sherry. Yeah, that's why Sherry brought that up. Was like, Virginia thought you did Tanktown, but you know, Sarah immediately said no. That's not the case.
You know. It fits. It does. I mean, he's writing cryptic messages on trees. I mean, here's a group that's writing cryptic messages all over the place.
Yeah.
They're a little bit different, but
yeah, they're kind of mentioning Wes just because he's been in both locations. He was at Tanktown and now here, so they're kind of like trying to dot the I's and cross the T's on that. Could it be one of Strand's people? Could it be one of the previous pioneers? Could they have gotten in? And, you know, because we've seen that, we've seen Strand's disdain for not wanting to be there. And him and Morgan are still at odds with each other. So could it be something that Strand did to try to rattle the cages?
I mean, that would be putting Alicia at risk.
Very true.
And Strand for certain is, you know, not going to put her at risk.
Yeah, for sure. And then, guys, you know, of course, it leads to, was it Daniel from the beginning? I was thinking about the episode later, and you remember the episode from Walking Dead 10C with the princess, how almost like 80% of that wasn't real?
Yeah.
I was starting to think, like, like, how much of that episode was not real in a sense to Daniel? I mean, we kind of saw it when he did tell Grace to go to the fishing shack, but then it turns out he didn't. It was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wonder if they wrote it that way to say
it's hard
this was what was going on in his mind, but it was fake.
It's hard to tell because they didn't tell us.
They didn't tell us.
Yeah. I mean, you're left to guess, but
the princess episode, we knew that she was hallucinating all of it.
Yeah.
Majority of it.
Well, by the end we knew.
By the end we knew.
But this one, it was just the the stuff that he was giving Grace, you know, the way that he was acting towards Strand.
Ooh, yeah.
You know,
because it would have been if
he did take the guns, dude. So if you have enough screws loose to empty out an entire armory, then you probably have enough to set off some dynamite.
Well, I mean, I still don't know if he really took the guns.
Well, let's just say this. Assuming he did, he needed a distraction to take the guns away. That was the distraction to do it.
Yeah, but see, and that's where I go back to the events that led him to kind of go through a psychiatric break to make all these mistakes were after the explosion and after everybody was turning on each other. So why would he come up with this scheme so early on when there wasn't anything to... The only thing they were trying to figure out was like the Virginia's information about the the spray paint people, basically.
Yeah, but
that's what I don't understand.
But you're assuming that that his mind was right enough to make up a whole scheme, right?
Right.
Like this I see this different. Like he's losing his mind. I just don't see that, him putting all this together. So no, maybe he didn't do the guns.
Yeah, I mean, we know that only
he is being set up.
Yeah, I mean, we know that only him and Morgan had the key, but somebody who could be pretty slick could take him off, put the keys in his trailer, put the key back on him without him noticing.
But didn't he say he used the explosion to find out who took the guns? I thought that was the case.
He mentions, I can't remember if he mentioned he said he needed a distraction, but I thought it was, yeah, you might be right.
I think he did say that, man. I think he did say.
But the guns weren't missing yet. The guns were missing after the explosion. You see what I mean? It gets
this is all messed up.
It gets confusing, guys, and it's just because
almost need to watch the episode again.
I know. It's like they, AMC didn't tell us one way or another. They just made us think it was all Daniel just because his mind. But this explosion happened before all that.
Yeah,
and so
it really sucks for Daniel because he's such a good character.
He is.
And I just, in short, with this whole video, I just hate to see Daniel like that. I didn't want to see him away from the group. I want to see badass Daniel, not someone that is, losing his mind.
Right. Yeah, we saw that. I put a clip up there in our last video. It was season 2, actually, when he had his last break and he burnt that place to the ground.
He says it then.
The
last time this happened to me, I burned a building down.
He was hallucinating very badly, and he killed a lot of people. So, guys, let us know what you think. We might dive deeper into this a little bit more, depending on, when we see Daniel next. But it is very confusing if this was Daniel, if he was set up, if it was part real, part hallucination.
What if it's his plan? What if he's playing everyone?
Still?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he did lie to everybody.
And he's got a grand plan for everything.
I don't know.
Please
don't turn Daniel into a villain.
No. I just mean from a perspective of, I don't know what you would be doing. Wiping out the rest of Ginny's people, which are now with Strand. That doesn't really make sense because then you're causing a rift.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So if it was one of Strand's people, Daniel's now back at Lawton, so he can maybe start.
Well, look, they know that
putting his ear to the ground.
They know the end is the beginning. People are out there.
Yeah.
So maybe this is his way of getting out of the community to find those people
to help out.
I don't know.
Yeah. So guys, let us know what you think. Leave the video a quick like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new, and stay tuned for more fear videos from us. I'm Jarrell.
I'm Josh.
We're NocBro Nation. We're out. I don't know what that was.
I don't know what that was.